All right, morning guys. We're gonna be putting large format tile backsplash. And I just finished tiling the floor. I just cleaned out all the joints. It's pretty much ready for grout. I got all the grout stuff here. But I'm gonna skip the grouting step. Go ahead and knock out this backsplash because it's gonna use the same color grout. We're just gonna put a ledger board right here connecting this. I made sure there's exactly 30 inches from here to here. You see something's wrong with my saw guard. It keeps flipping back down. But I can still cut some wood. Gonna countersink them a little bit. You kinda don't wanna cut two outlets out on the same tile. So I'm starting from here to here. I got 18 inches, so I can cut one on one tile, one on another tile. It's kind of a rough estimate, and another rough estimate. I'll cut this piece last. And down here, I'm trying to end up somewhere right here on the first piece. Cut this outlet out. There's that ledger board, and I should end up a little bit past this 3/4 round, somewhere out here. Good enough for today. I'm just putting these screws on here just so it don't fall out. And I'm trying to take into account for that backspace of the tile going behind it, but it's, you know, it's not gonna be perfectly accurate, but that'll help me get this outlet cut out. Let's get a good estimate for that outlet. See, I got the back marked. I'm gonna try to use the Ryobi cutter and see if I can cut from the back, and I wanna see how much it chips the front. Yeah, I kinda didn't like the way that one came out. Start over, draw on the front this time. Should have found this nice rug in the dumpster earlier. Stop tracking mud in here. Cutting from the front is definitely the way to go with that saw. Ryobi, brushless. I think it's called a 3-inch cutoff tool. Yeah, so that's gonna work out a lot better. All right, so now we got this one pinned with a screw right here. One in the middle of these two. Right there, so just so these don't fall, we can go ahead and cut all this out. It looks like that little 1/4 inch up here saved us, so I can put a screw up here. Down here to make sure it don't slip out, we're gonna temporarily put some wedges. And that'll kind of hold it tight. The last piece. On the ledger board, this is gonna help you put wedges on here and kind of get the backsplash all level. Also, whenever you push the stove back, this will protect the tile from getting hit from the top of the stove. In the area on top of the stove, it won't take a 12-inch going this way. It'll probably have like a little sliver up here. So we're gonna do these vertical, but we'll save that for last. And it'd be nice to go behind the vent hood. Then you'd lose the kind of flushness right here, so. All right, they're finally looking complete. We're gonna keep this batch a little bit more wet than normal. We need it to last a little bit longer than just putting it on the floor. All right, we've got another dumpster find. Found this by the dumpster, this table, and that chair. So that chair's gonna be good to go ahead and put the thin set behind the tiles, and it's gonna be good to hold the bucket and all the tools. Let's see how good it trials out. These ones with the outlets are a little bit harder. Remember, no one's gonna be walking on this. It's not gonna be in a shower. All you're doing is gluing these to the wall. And I'm gonna move it a lot because you could put 3 if you wanna get really fancy. Maybe we'll get really fancy. Because there's an outlet right there. All right, so the reason it's called thin set is when it gets thin, look how fast it hardens. So you always wanna scrape around your bucket. All right, we've got the whole first row on there. Just the bottom row. Now we're gonna start clipping it all together. All right, and I'm pretty sure you can see how tight it is there and how wide it is down here. And what we're trying to do is just make this gap correct. But first, we're gonna clip this together. Right there. Back on this one, you see we had to do a little bit different. We had to let this one touch the bottom and barely lift on this corner to get a perfect line. That's because it's a laminate countertop. It's always gonna sag where the sink is. It's just a little bit thinner wood in these areas. And if you're having a hard time getting your clips in there, just dip it in some thin set. You just gotta get, oh no, I forgot the bottom clips. Yeah, this is gonna be tight. Around the light. Over to the side. I already got 2 above the stove done. Left a little bit of gap. Sometimes hard to take the vent hood off if you're too tight right here. Plus we need room for caulking and sealant up here. And that should close up that gap. You can do the same thing, kind of squeeze them together. Like that, you heard that? The rest of it looks pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna touch it. It has a really good reflection. Since we got so much extra thin set, I was over here filling in the threshold. So I was over here playing with the threshold. Completely forgot about the side splash. I don't know how, I always forget it, but it's right here. Had to hurry up, take the Ryobi, cut a notch, and I think we have enough wet in there to stick one there and there. I'll be right back. Same thing, a little bit of lift right there. This is actually the cut side of the tile. I wanted the factory side out here on the top and on the outside. Go have a look on my son's project. That's looking pretty good in here also. Look at this. He moved all the cabinets. Try to take care of all this back here, get all the caulking. So the problem he's having, he's got these fans mounted onto the original metal boxes and they kind of wiggle. So we're gonna put these fan plates up there for him. We're probably gonna extend the wire with 12-2 and anchor it into the ceiling, glue it. Way to put the screws at an angle so they wouldn't hit the box. Okay. I think it's gonna be stable. This one's gonna be stable too. All right, quick tip. Don't hammer these off on these kind of tile. It's really easy to damage this surface because when you hit it, it's gonna hit this yellow wedge right into the corner and sometimes you'll chip these tiles. So you just wanna use your fingers. Kind of just pull. If you pull from one side, we'll try to do it so we don't get cut. But this is a safer way. Don't even ask me how I know, because I've definitely left some chips in there before. I'm gonna try to finish grouting out the backsplash and trimming it out, getting all the outlets in there and making it look pretty. Some of the equipment we have, we're not gonna use this today. It's gonna be for the floor. The backsplash should be pretty simple. Just a margin trowel, a little rubber squeegee, drill to mix it, sponges, place to rinse it off. But since we're doing a backsplash, you'd want it a little bit thicker. Gravity's gonna pull it down off the wall. It's gonna make a mess. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Remix. Mash it in there first. Then we'll come back with a real clean, pretty wipe. But we're probably gonna let this dry for a long time. Like I said, it's really easy to get this off later. It doesn't stick too easy to this glossy tile. We're gonna let it sit and dry up. Got a lot left though, so we're probably gonna work on some of those areas. But you wanna make sure these lines end up sharp, even if you have to take a little bit of grout out. We don't waste our time trying to get this perfect spacing and then mess up on the grout and leave it a little bit hazy. All right, dried nice and chalky. That was about 15 minutes ago. Do another wipe down. We do attack the whole floor. We're gonna be using this. This is very easy to use. It keeps the grout lines very flat on the first wipe. Squeezy. I put both neutrals into here, both lines into here, ground on here, but it's gonna be a standalone GFCI with no load coming off of it. Plus I gotta shut the power off to do this, and all these lights are on the same circuit. All right, this one installed really good. Over here, we're gonna have to do a little bit of grinding on the bottom of the tile. And here, we're using a new connector they sell, kind of like little Wagos on the back of here, just strip the length, clip it in. And these are nice because you don't need to put tape in the back. You're putting your screws in and you're not hitting the edges of the tile. They actually sell spacers, little rubber spacers. They're kind of like rubber washers. They go behind the screws to hit the metal box. Little spacers, these go right behind the GFCIs. Right here to space it. Longer screws. I gotta put this one in the restroom. All right, power going on. Just forgot this buzzer switch on. So when you turn on a breaker for the first time, it's not gonna have a light. You gotta make sure you hit reset. Looking good. I'm filling them in with plastic wood X to the fronts and backs. When he gets up here in a bit, he'll be ready to sand. We're gonna be using 220, knock down this pretty flat. Man, he got these looking really good. Liking that. Here's that trim we're gonna use for the cabinets downstairs. Just pre-painted it. I still gotta nail it on there, caulk it, and probably paint them one more time. But I'm gonna let this dry up. I'm gonna go downstairs, remove the vent hood, and start caulking around the top of the tiles and around the cabinets one more time. You gotta make sure you seal this up. A lot of roaches can get back there. See a couple teeth missing. Get this thing on there. Damn, Ease, this thing is broke. Bro? Yeah, because I think there's supposed to be a ball bearing here and some kind of like pin. Look at this whole bar. So I might have to tape it.
What's up, movie?
Thanks for the toothpaste.
You're welcome.
Alright, I've got all the miters in. Everything's nailed. We gotta do another round of caulking and filling right here. Same thing right here. Got all the tiles caulked on. More cord around. All the under cabinets are caulked too. A little bit of cord around there, cord around there. I think we're almost got this whole thing wrapped up. We're missing a piece here. Man, more caulking, filling, caulking. All right, got it all taped up. Just using edge seal tape, Scotch tape, but with the edge guard. I'm using silicone Supreme white. And pretty much I just got it wherever I think my finger's gonna fit right in there. All right, redo. This thing was dried up. Damn it. Can't believe the sucker was dried out. Should have squished it first. There we go. Oh yeah. All right, we're looking good on silicone. Here we go. I'm trying to push it back into the joint. And you always want to put more than you need. Sometimes you do end up going back though. Pour some alcohol on a blue towel. It easily wipes off, so it cleans off with alcohol. And it smooths out with alcohol. And the whole time I'm just removing excess. Alright, so I got this part done, this part's still pretty fresh. So I'm just gonna start peeling right away. And I kind of laid it out in a way where I knew the order I was gonna do it. See, if we would have waited any longer on this, it would have already started to stick to the tape, so that's about the limit. Alright, well that's definitely not my best silicone job by far, but that's the gist of it. See, I went way too thin behind the sink. It's definitely waterproof. Should last. Right back here, had a lot of time, so came out a lot better. Got her all caulked up. Some touch-up paint. That was the Backsplash large format towel, DeLorean gray grout. Trimmed it up, siliconed it in, did the outlets, receptacles. Now I'm gonna get to this floor grout. Get started on this and catch you on the next one.